Greetings. Today I want to speak to you concerning the Iceman breathing method and the Sunman breathing method. The world knows about Wim Hof and his breathing method. And his breathing method would put you in a place of calmness, a place of stillness. But my breathing method, which is the honey sexual breathing, which is also the most ancient and powerful breathing method known to man. Mystics and wise men throughout the ages have known of this breathing technique and know that it is the most powerful breathing technique to manifest your every desire. So, what I would encourage you to do is to first of all get the Iceman breathing method and go along with his instructions. And when you finish those 3 rounds of breathing, then you go into the Sunman breathing, which is my breathing method, the honey sexual breathing method. Okay, and that honey breathing method is on my university. Okay, and it is very much affordable for everyone who wants to use it to create their reality consciously. And I'm telling you, I've been using it, and it is the most powerful experience you will have. You will be vibrating. You will feel as if you are levitating, whether you are seated or you are lying. But I normally do it lying, okay? And you will feel as if you are levitating, and all of the cells in your body would be activated. You would be vibrating, and you're gonna get very, very emotional. And whatever emotion you feel, go with it. Even if you feel like crying, okay. But you have to do it intentionally, which means you have to first write down that which you desire, okay, and you have to start to visualize and that which you desire even just before you go into the breath work. And so when you go into the breath work, and then you take the final step, which is going into the honey breathing technique of minds, okay, there is where you're gonna visualize and see yourself being and doing and having that which you desire in this physical 3-dimensional world. And when you breathe in and you breathe out with the sexual song, okay, know that this song is the song of the universe. It's the song of creativity. It is the song whereby all things are being made possible to you. It is the most magnetic, electrical, and magical song there is. It is the song of calling life into reality and into existence. Okay? And that is the same frequency you use to express a child or a baby into this frequency. Well, you can use that same frequency to attract money, attract wealth, or to attract anything that you desire in this world. So my encouragement to you is to use the Iceman breathing method and the Sunman breathing method. Now, with my breathing method, you are activating the solar plexus. The solar plexus represents the seat of consciousness. Okay? And there are those who've been teaching heart and brain coherence, but I'm teaching, okay, not heart and brain. The solar plexus and the brain coherence. Okay? So the seat of consciousness, which is down in the solar plexus, that is what will kickstart the heart, because the heart is like a clock. And that is why I always say If a person is put in an ambulance or a person is in the hospital and the heart stop beating or the heartbeat goes very, 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 very low and you have to revive them. They have this thing, I can't remember the name of it, that they rub together. Okay? And that thing is electrical. It is magnetic. And it is mimicking, okay, the work of the solar plexus. And that will kickstart the heart again and heart start beating again. And that would give the workers, let's say, in the ambulance, okay, that would give them hope that this person can make it. Well, I'm saying to you, when you use my breathing method, it's going to give you hope, okay, that whatsoever you desire in this world, it can definitely be yours. And I'm saying that this breathing technique, it is throughout the all of nature. And when the sun shines upon nature, if you notice, nature always brings forth bountifully. But it is the same science that is happening. Okay? Now, whenever you send out your breath using my breathing technique, you're using a spiritual, sexual, psychic act. So you are having a spiritual, sexual, psychic orgasm. Okay? And so you will understand why the book of Mind Science, it says that my word will not return unto me, but it must accomplish that which I send it to and prosper in the thing where to I send it. You have to realize that word is the expression of a thought. Then you will understand also why the book of Mind Science, which is basically the magic book, it is a magic book. And that's why I put a book together called the 66 Books of Magic, the Overcomer's Bible, where Jesus has been removed and there's a blank space for you to write your name, which is I am. Okay, so I'll definitely encourage you to get that book too. Okay, so the 66 Books of Magic, which is the Bible, the book of Mind Science, it tells you that you shall decree a thing and it shall be established. It also tells you that you must call for those things that be not as though they are present right now. Once you understand these things, you'll understand the breath of life. When it says, and God breathed the breath of life into my man, became a living soul. If you understand that God is your consciousness, your awareness, if you understand that God and man are one, and you do not separate yourself from God, thinking that God is some outside entity, you would realize that you can breathe life into your ideas and experience the reality of it in this three-dimensional physical world, because that's the science of alchemy. So I'm teaching you the science of alchemy and spiritual, sexual, and psychic level, because you are telepathic, okay? You are multidimensional. You are psychic. But most of all, you're God having a human experience. Therefore, you gotta breathe like a God. You gotta think like a God. You gotta communicate like a God. And you gotta sex like a God. Deep within, I wanted to say you gotta fuck like a God. You gotta do it, okay, the right way. Okay. So my brother, my sisters, why the church don't want you to practice, mindful breathing and get this kind of knowledge. Okay. But I'm gonna leave this one, up to you to decide your mind what you're going to do. Okay, so if what I'm saying, if it makes sense, if it resonates with you and you haven't subscribed already, I'm definitely encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram, you like to follow me on TikTok, you can definitely follow me at BlackMadGuru. If you want to get my books, the links are down below. You have more than 10 books to choose from. And you have my journal for him and journal for her, where I start each affirmation saying, I'm so happy and grateful now. And you just have to add and wait. Okay. Also, if you like to book a one-on-one with me, you can drop me an email and we can set up that one-on-one. If not, and you would like to do a one-on-one with me on an app called Theta, we can do that. But that is a very religious app, okay? But I take the opportunity to teach spirituality there. And if you want to do it there with me, it's fine, okay? Also, if you'd like to become a part of my Patreon community, you're most welcome. And I have a course there that is called the Inner Sun Science and Technology to create your reality consciousness. And along with that is a bonus course on self-concept. So my last encouragement to you is to make sure you check out all of the links that are down below. And if you want to join my university, Free Thinkers and Seekers University, to get this whole breathing method going, because I have a lot of videos upload there with the sexual breathing for you. Okay, you can definitely get it. So as I said earlier, that my last encouragement to make sure that you check out all of the links that are down below, and definitely let your intuition lead you and guide you into what to do. So with that being said, I just want to say peace, love you all, out.